If you only listen to one thing I say, then this is it. The longer you leave your henna paste on, the darker your stain will be. As long as the paste is touching your skin, it's releasing dye into your skin, and more dye equals a darker stain that will last way longer. So how long do I need to leave my henna paste on? As a general rule, we say to leave the paste on a minimum of 4 hours and up to 24. After 24 hours, the natural dye found in real henna paste will have broken down enough that it's not really depositing any more color. And I just want to add a quick side note here that this is where your artist's knowledge and experience mixing her own henna paste really shows up, because using freshly made henna at the peak of its dye release is going to totally set you up for success. Once your henna paste has been applied, you're going to want to keep it moist. That just keeps activating the dye, releasing and binding to the keratin in your skin. And the way we do this primarily is with a sugar sealant. So here at Rama Henna, I like to use this natural, organic, unrefined sugar. I'm a little bit of a hippie, but I just really like to avoid the chemicals associated with the refining process. Plus, I love the way the natural traces of molasses really assist in adhering the henna to the skin. So why in the world are we putting sugar in our sealant spray? So the sugar is technically a humectant, which just simply means that it draws moisture from the air, which is going to accomplish two things for you. The first thing that the henna sealant is going to accomplish for you is that it's going to help keep your henna moist. And the second thing is that it's going to make your henna paste stick to your skin better, which means it'll stay on longer, which if you watched my first aftercare video, you know that that means a darker stain. One question we get asked all the time is how to know when to spray your henna design with the sugar sealant. So you want your paste to be dry, but not falling off. And you just want to do a really light misting all over the entire design. This is how you should not apply your sugar sealant. First, her henna was still wet, which you can tell because the paste is still really shiny. And second, we sprayed on way too much sealant. As you can see, the design ran together and the stain started bleeding out, and it just turned into a big sloppy mess. This is the correct way to apply sugar sealant. This time her design is completely dry, the paste isn't shiny, and it's turned kind of matte. It's cracking just a little bit at the top where her wrist bends, but for the most part the design is still intact, and we just misted the design all over. No running, no bleeding. Okay, so I'm going to show you the entire process of how we wrap our henna. So we actually use toilet paper. It's really breathable. Some people will use a saran wrap. Please don't do that. It will be a mess, but we just wrap each individual finger here. Wrapping your henna is totally optional, by the way. You can definitely just spray with a sugar sealant and move on with your day. Usually we just wrap our henna when we're headed for bed and we don't want to get henna flakes all over our beds. Once I'm done wrapping the henna design, I just tear off the toilet paper and tuck it in wherever I can. You can also use sports wrap pre-wrap instead of toilet paper, and that sticks to itself, so that can be a good option if you have it. Once our henna is all wrapped up in toilet paper, we're going to slide a sock over it as the last step. So I'm using one of my husband's socks here because it's really long and it covers her whole hand, and I scrunch it up on my fingers like I'm putting on pantyhose. My next aftercare tip is pretty straightforward, and it's just to stay warm. Wear a warm sweater. I like the ones that zip so that you can take one arm out if you start getting too hot, but you don't mess up the henna on your other arm. Sit in the sun, get a blankie, get a hot water bottle. Just be warm. Go ahead. Oh my goodness, it caused me so much pain to make this video. Her henna had only been on about an hour, and then we went and washed it off in water. Please don't do this, guys. Please, 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 please stay out of water for 24 hours. This is how I actually want you to remove your henna paste. As you can see, most of the henna came off when she took off the toilet paper and the sock because she had it wrapped last night. And then we're just rubbing it with some coconut oil. You can use olive oil also. Once that coconut or olive oil has softened your henna, you can go ahead and scrape off those stubborn bits. Here I'm just using a business card. Remember to stay out of water for 24 hours, so just rub that oil in and wait for your stain to reach full maturity over the next couple of days. Remember that when you first remove your henna paste, your stain is actually going to be bright orange, and it'll take a few days to darken up. And then after that, it'll just slowly fade over the next week or so till it's all gone. During that time, you can preserve your henna stain by keeping your skin moisturized.